Howdy folks, I'm Bitter Bleak Barons, broadly being boring.
I'm Amber.
And here are more barons being boring for us. I guess that's how we go. Like they rule over the countryside and then they also be boring. So let's get started. Oh, and folks, there's a live stream coming up tomorrow. For more information, please see the end of the video. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Insisting that my daughter wears appropriate clothes to a formal event? So, I'm a 45-year-old male and I share custody of my daughter, a 14-year-old female. I have her during the school week, so I'm the one who handles her school stuff, academics, competitions, etc. Recently, she won first place in a regional science and math competition. She's really smart and I'm proud of her. There's an award ceremony next month and she wants to wear a full pink ball gown dress with sparkles and open-toe heels. I told her no and said that I would get her a pantsuit. She got really upset and said that it's unfair that I don't let her express herself. For some context, she's very into girly fashion. She has kind of held on to that princess phase most kids grow out of and is become part of her identity. I'm not trying to take that away from her, but I looked through photos of the past 5 years of this event. Pretty much every award winner was a boy and they all wore dress shirts and ties, some full suits. There were only 2 girls in all the pictures and both had very standard conservative outfits. Nobody was dressed like they were going to prom. This is not that kind of event. I'm worried that she'll be laughed at or singled out. She already gets teased at school for her style, and I don't want her walking into a room full of older professionals and parents in a bright pink princess dress with sparkly heels and feeling humiliated. I figured that a pantsuit would still let her look formal and sharp and not stick out like a sore thumb. She says that I'm trying to make her boring and plain, and that I just want her to act like everyone else instead of being herself. I really just don't want her or me to be embarrassed, and I think that she's going to regret it. Some of the kids who might be in the audience might do stuff like laugh when she gets on stage. It's happened before, even without such flashy outfits. But maybe I'm being controlling. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP, you absolutely are the jerk. And I think, so unfortunately, OP's comments got deleted, but he did mention that his daughter just brushes it off when people make fun of her for her clothes. So he's not worried about his daughter being embarrassed. I just really don't want her or me to be embarrassed. Yeah. He's embarrassed by her. He's admitting this outright. And he wants to mold her into a more socially acceptable version of her. And I feel so bad for the daughter in this situation. And more power to her. Like, we need more people out there getting STEM awards in ball gowns and like breaking this notion that you have to be masculine to be good at math and science.
Well, certainly, like, if there was a specific dress code outlined on the invitations or something like that, then I think OP would be right to steer their daughter towards a certain dress code, right? But that doesn't even sound like that's the case. It just sounds like he flipped through old photos and was like, well, everyone else was wearing stuff that was like this, so I'm going to make sure that my daughter is wearing something like this. And, you know, that's not what she wants to wear. And I don't think that OP should force their daughter, especially if they are comfortable with these kinds of outfits and really like them, and this is her style, right?
Right. Well, and why go straight to a pantsuit, too? Like, yeah. Why can't she wear a dress? Like, even if the dress she had picked out was a little bit much, which, I mean, honestly, again, she's 14, let her express herself and her style. But if you're really that upset, let her pick a pink sparkly dress that's more of like an evening gown style, or, you know, the kind of the formally type thing.
And like OP's like, I don't want to be embarrassed. Come on, it's middle school or high school, right? Like, I think high school at that point in time. Every kid is going to have their time in their life where they make questionable fashion choices and are going to be look back on them and be like, haha, then, you know, remember that time I did this type of thing, right?
It's hilarious. Yeah. You know, like, I don't look back on my old, like, I might cringe, but like, I'm not like, I don't wish I hadn't worn those things. It's just like, you know, funny in retrospect.
Yeah.
And given her personality and attitude, like, even if she finds the fashion a little bit much, I bet she would just, you know, be proud of her younger self for being so bold and unapologetic.
Yeah. At least I hope so. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, I'm a 29-year-old male, and I told my best friend, a 30-year-old male, to reconsider proposing to his girl, a 25-year-old female, because she has autism. He called me jealous. The whole group is pissed. I still stand by what I said. I'm annoyed at how the scenario turned out. He has been with her for 2.5 years, and I get why he likes her. She's hot and very sweet. I just didn't expect marriage, honestly. He told a group of us his plan, and I said something dumb about thinking it through because she's weird and it might not be so cute in the future. I just asked him to seriously think if he wanted to deal with it forever. Like I said, I'll give her credit. She's pretty and sweet, and she's always cooking for everyone. I've told him before that I like her. However, she has autism. She is so quiet you can hardly hear her talk when we're in a group. She even whispers to him sometimes. She's obsessed with pink. It's the only color that she wears. Pink car, pink everything in the kitchen. She also loves kid stuff too. I think that she gets away with it because she's pretty. I'm like the only one that sees how weird it is. She's 25 and she has an easy bake oven. I asked her why, considering that she has a real oven, and she's like, oh, I just think it's fun. And I was like, what in the world? He claims none of it bothers him, and she isn't hurting anyone, but now I'm mad about how this turned out. The night he met her, I hit on her, and I got rejected. So everyone came up with this idea that I'm still jealous because I'm single when I didn't even know what she was like back then. He's mad and said that I insulted her, which I didn't mean to do. And I said multiple times to him that I think that she's a great girl, but he's my friend, so I thought that I could express my opinion. The whole group is going on about how nice she is and how wrong I was, but I didn't say she wasn't nice. She also cooked me dinner every night when my brother passed away. So everyone got butthurt, but I always appreciate that. Has nothing to do with marrying my friend. Lol. All right, folks, what do you think?
Oh my goodness, yes, you're the jerk, OP. You're not the one marrying her. It doesn't matter if she has different preferences than you do. You're not the one who's signing up for this. Like, it's one thing if you sense like abusive tendencies. Like if she was hurting your friend, then I think that's fair to step in and be like, hey, are you really sure you want to go through with this? You know, but none of this is like anything to worry about. Okay, she likes pink a lot and she has an easy bake oven. Like that's not relationship breaking. It's not a sign she would be a bad partner. That just means she has different interests than you do.
Well, that's just it. It's like there are a lot of things here that I think that OP is just trying to pick at.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's mostly that OP is trying to make up excuses because OP is doing the worst job ever at trying to convince us that he doesn't like her and doesn't have like a crush on her or something like that. And he's like, yeah, she's really great and she's really nice and here's all the things that I like about her, but she has these weird characteristics that I think my friend should consider before marrying her, right? I don't know.
It's either that or that he's just ableist jerk, you know.
I mean, he could just be an ableist jerk.
It's hard to tell here. But his friends seem to think that he has got the hots for her.
Yeah. So I think that OP just needs to understand that what he said here was really hurtful and really ableist, and that, you know, that she is a perfectly nice and good individual, and that their friend has to be the one who makes the decision about whether or not they think that this is something that they're going to be able to live with or not. And it sounds like he's perfectly fine with her quirky behavior, right? And OP doesn't have to marry her. So fortunately, he doesn't have to deal with any of that quirky behavior if he doesn't want to, right?
But it seems like he's perfectly happy to take her food.
Yeah.
Like his whole attitude here, because like he's perfectly happy to take her food and her kindness. But then he's just like, but like, dude, do you really want to have a pink kitchen in your house 30 years from now?
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Daughter That She's Not Autistic? I'm a 49-year-old female, and my daughter is an 18-year-old female, and she was a problem child when she was little. Her school recommended that I get her assessed for autism when she was 12. I did, although I knew she wasn't even then. The psychologist said that she's not, so that's the end of that. For a couple of years, it was all normal, but now she started with it again, casually mentioning that she can't wear certain clothes or eat certain foods because of the autism. She doesn't just throw it around as a joke either. She's 100% serious. A couple of weeks ago, we were on vacation and I took my younger kids to see the Statue of Liberty. My daughter went to the National History Museum. She liked it a lot and was there from opening to closing and color-coded the map based on her favorite rooms. She was showing it to her brother at her hotel room, and her brother asked her, "Are you sure you're not autistic?" And I interjected and said that she's not. She got upset, and I told her that she can't self-diagnose with everything she sees online. She got upset and won't talk to me now. Am I the jerk? I feel like I just told her the hard truth. Someone had to pop her bubble. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, I think you're the jerk here. Historically, autism research has been primarily focused on boys, and that has meant that a lot of people socialized as girls have been underdiagnosed. And it often takes multiple diagnostic attempts and incorrect diagnoses before autistic girls receive a correct diagnosis. I had 2 evaluations before I got my autism diagnosis. So, one assessment she had when she was 12 does not definitively say she doesn't have autism. And I think, your whole attitude here is a little concerning. And even if it's not autism, it could be something related. So I think the biggest issue here is it doesn't matter whether she has autism or not. What matters is that she has legitimate needs and you're not taking those into consideration.
I understand OP's frustration here because OP spent time to, get her assessed for autism and the school recommended it. It sounds like OP doesn't really like the idea of her being autistic and is maybe kind of like lashing out because of that. And, it's probably a frustrating situation for OP. And certainly like telling their daughter you're not diagnosed as autistic doesn't necessarily help the situation, right? Like, I just don't know what good it does here, right? One way or the other. Like, if she wants to believe she's autistic, is it hurting anyone, right? And I would say, no, it's not hurting anyone. If she wants to believe she is, then she can believe she is. But I do think that if she is having other sensory issues and stuff like that, then maybe she should start seeing a psychologist or psychiatrist and, seeing if they can talk through some of that stuff too, because there might be more here than she was willing to talk about or say in the past, right?
Or that she even understood, like, autism is so poorly understood across the board, by the general population and psychiatrists alike. And so it may be that now as an adult, she has better insights into her autism than she did as a child. And so, yeah, I think definitely it might be worth having another diagnostic test done if she's interested in that.
Yeah, and again, like she may very well not be autistic, and it could just be that she, has certain behavioral things, and she may not fall under the category of autism. But saying that she's not autistic definitively doesn't really help one way or another, I feel like.
Well, and I think the biggest issue is that, like, because the mom's like, oh, she was a problem child. When have you ever met her needs, or have you always just brushed things aside? Because often when we see children being quote unquote problem children, especially neurodivergent children who are undiagnosed, it's a sign of deeper issues. Like she has these sensory issues she talks about and other things. And like, what are you actually doing to meet her needs?
Yeah.
Are you taking them seriously? Like if she was a kid complaining about how this fabric doesn't feel good for her and you're just like, well, wear it anyway, of course she's going to lash out.
Mm-hmm. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, I just found out my mom has been sending my girlfriend cruel messages for who knows how long. I don't know how to handle this. 36-year-old male and a 32-year-old female. Generally, not much rattles me. My friends call me a stoic, emotionally constipated idiot. And they're not all wrong, which is why we're all still a little stunned that the love of my life is basically my opposite. I've been with my girlfriend for 8 years. I've known her for 10. She's quiet, gentle, brilliant, an actual whole professor, and genuinely one of the kindest people I've ever met. She's silly, shy, goofy in the best ways, and she loves to poke fun, and I love all of it. I love her more than I've ever loved anyone ever in this lifetime. But last night, something happened that I can't let go of. My phone was charging, so I was scrolling on Instagram Reels on hers like I usually do. One of her friends DM'd her. Normally, I would send back some dumb reaction photo so they know that it's me. Just a thing in our circle. But it wasn't a joke. It was a screenshot my girlfriend had sent her friend, and the friend was trying to comfort her. I hesitated, and then I opened the screenshots to read better. And I'm glad I did. I don't even regret it anymore because what I saw were multiple messages from my mother, cruel ones, and the timestamps were all from the same day. So I don't know how long this has been happening. A week? Longer? No idea. Some of the messages my mom sent. Maybe he hasn't proposed because you haven't given him a child. Men don't marry placeholders. Most recent. This one makes me see red. I can't even imagine how my baby felt. If you stopped dressing like a teenage boy and put on some makeup, maybe he would see you as a wife instead of one of his little friends. You're keeping him from his family he used to visit. For clarity, I'm the one who pulled back because of her behavior towards one of my sisters. That's a whole other issue, so nothing to do with my girlfriend. You think you're special. You're lucky he even brought you home. Girls like you don't get commitment from men like him. What even in the world is this? You're not good enough for the life he deserves. Reading them made my stomach drop. They were hateful and completely false. There's even more, but these were the ones that seared into my brain. And my girlfriend didn't tell me about any of them. She just has been carrying this alone, smiling, laughing with me, all the while this garbage sitting in the back of her mind. My girlfriend avoids conflict. She hates upsetting anyone, and I get it. It's easier to talk to a friend first, and my mom can be intense. She probably didn't want to put me into a position where I looked like I was choosing sides. But I have chosen, and it's not her I'm angry with. I'm furious with my mother, and I'm exhausted by this. She knows how much my girlfriend means to me. She hears me talk about her constantly. I really thought that she might actually be happy for me. At the same time, I don't want to make this harder on my girlfriend or make her feel exposed. So here's where I need some advice. Do I tell my girlfriend gently that I saw in the messages that I'm on her side and she doesn't need to shield me from my own mother? Or do I handle my mother privately and not bring it up unless my girlfriend does? I just want her to feel safe and supported. And makes me sick that she's been dealing with this alone. I mean, actually sick. I'm just watching her make breakfast and what's the best approach that prioritizes her well-being first? All right, folks, what do you think?
I think you have to talk to her. Because as soon as you talk to your mom, she's
Yeah.
immediately going to go straight to your girlfriend
Oh, yeah.
and start bullying her again.
Exactly.
So tell your girlfriend that you saw the message and reaffirm to her that you are on her side, and explain to her what the plan. Ask for her input, of course, but explain to her you're going to go no contact with your mother or what have you. I think you need to make this it's so your mom cannot reach your girlfriend anymore. Make it very clear to her once you've talked to your girlfriend and gotten everything settled that you are not going to stand for this, and she is out of your life, for the time being and until she can respect your relationship.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder about the marriage thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious about if marriage is something that the girlfriend even wants. If it is something that they want, is OP planning on, marrying them in the future or something like that? Maybe this is a good opportunity to kind of go into that conversation and figure out what both of their needs and wants are on that front, right? Because if she is expecting marriage someday and OP's just like, we don't need to get married or anything like that, everyone's happy, maybe she's not happy about that. So maybe there needs to be a conversation about that as well. But I agree with Amber that the mom needs to be blocked.
Right. She needs to have no contact with the girlfriend whatsoever. So I would immediately like to recommend to your girlfriend that, block my mom from your phone and all social media immediately. Anything from her, I will handle.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
What did the turtle choose for their bathroom flooring?
They chose turtle shell flooring.
Reptiles.
Oh, I see.
And it's Turtle Adoption Day today.
Tortoiseshell, like something, I don't know. And yes, go adopt reptiles, I guess.
If you want to, no obligation.
All the obligation. That's the
People
day.
should only have pets that they want.
And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and our guidance, and please have it on people who are different.
Love people as they are and accept their differences, assuming we're talking about non-hurtful differences like liking pink.
Yeah. Oh, and folks, there's a live stream coming up on Friday, tomorrow. So for more information, please see here. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.